Hi, Logan.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Not too bad. We are sweltering over here in the UK, but
You're doing what
something
over here?
we're sweltering. It's absolutely boiling over here. So I hope the same in Nashville.
Yeah, I heard that. I honestly think there have been a couple days this summer that it's been hotter there than it has here, which is kind of
Yeah,
wild.
which is completely insane. Well, we last saw you over here in the UK on the CMT Next Women in a Country tour with Cassidy Pope. You've been over quite a few times now. So what is it about the UK that keeps you coming back?
So many things. I think playing shows over there, as I recognize so many faces here. So hi everyone. Seeing familiar faces come back and just the crowds being super receptive to original music and hearing stories behind songs and I really just feel like that's invaluable as an artist, being able to show up to a place where the first time I came, it was really I did not expect for things to be received the same way that they were, and I just feel like people were
Battery
open
100%. Connected to Steve-O.
We're still there? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're all good. Logan, it's good to see you.
Super tech challenge, so if I mess up any of this, I'm sorry.
No worries. Logan, it's good to see you. Thank you for doing this with us today. We really appreciate your time. It's been 5 years since you released Shut Eye, which is absolutely crazy to think it's flown by. But what challenges have you been facing, particularly recently with this whole kind of lockdown stuff? Have you found it very difficult to get into that creative space, or
I think, yeah, I think for me, I've gone through phases of being really creative and phases of not really wanting to even like try to dive into anything, because it has been, I know, really challenging for everyone to be stuck at home, and especially for someone who, like, genuinely, I have not been at home for this long in years, and so just adjusting to all this downtime. And feeling the pressure of like, I should be productive, I should be making new music right now, but also, dealing with a lot of like the personal struggles of, family being far away and all the things that everyone's dealing with right now. So I think at the beginning, I was really creative. I was like very like in the flow and feeling really like, inspired, I guess, just with all the things that are going on. I think as an artist, it's kind of, my job to observe and try to respond to what's happening in the world. So, but then also there have been times where I'm like, this is the first time that I've been home and I can, hang out in my backyard and plant plants and, spend time with I live with my sister and her husband, and haven't really been able to spend a lot of time with them. So a mix really. But it's definitely, it's a challenge to kind of look ahead at what the industry might look like and what releasing music might look like moving forward, because I think it's going to be a little different for a while.
Yes.
Hi, Logan. Nice to have you with us.
Hey, James. How are you?
I am good. It's nice to speak to you finally after all the messages.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions. First of all, how has moving to Nashville changed you as a writer and an artist? And if you could sit down with anyone in Nashville tomorrow and write a song that you haven't done with yet, who would you choose?
Those are great questions. I think for me, moving to Nashville was a challenge. A huge challenge, because, and I think a lot of artists who are moving from other places to Nashville face this. It's like, where you're from, you might be sort of the big fish in a small pond, where you feel like you've got, you're a great writer and you've written a lot of songs. And for the most part, before I moved to Nashville, I was writing alone, in my bedroom, playing the songs for my mom. And that was pretty much it. So moving to Nashville, starting to get into writers' rooms with writers who were, exceptional at their craft and so much better than me. It was a bit of a shock at first. I think most writers go through that when they first come to Nashville, because it's inspiring, but also really intimidating. And so I think for the first few years of really trying to get my footing of how to be a better writer, how to write the truth and make it really relatable to people, was definitely hard to do, but also has made me, such a better writer than I would have ever been if I hadn't moved to Nashville. So I think I'm a better writer because of Nashville, for sure. And as far as someone I'd like to sit in a room with, I think one that probably comes up a lot with Nashville artists, and she's not actually even based in Nashville, but I think has really changed the game with Nashville writers, is Lori McKenna, who I'm sure a lot of you guys are fans of her music. She has, had a hand on a lot of my favorite songs, and I love her records. And, she's really built kind of a cool story. She's based in the Northeast. She has a family there. She comes back and forth from to and from Nashville, but I think is such a major influence on Nashville writers. And so I would love to get in a room with her at some point. So fingers crossed that happens for me at some point.
I interviewed Laurie in March, and she was just so nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've really heard amazing things about, obviously she's a great writer, but she's also a very down-to-earth, wonderful person from what I've heard. So
thank you.
So hi Logan, thank you for joining us today, this evening as it is over here. As Imogen said, in the sweltering heat, I think we've had the hottest day of the year, so we are sweating. But we're very, very excited about your new single, The Space, with Emily Hackett. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind that track and how the two of you came to write and work together on it.
Yeah, so this goes back to sort of the challenges of trying to create in this weird environment of being isolated from people. Usually writing looks like meeting up in a studio or in, somebody's writing room somewhere, and being all together in person and being able to create in person. And so it was a huge challenge to suddenly be like, okay, how do we write a song and how do we collaborate? And then how do we record the song when none of us can be together? And using the limited resources that we have. I'm currently in a storage closet in my basement of my house. So that's kind of where I've been trying to work out of. And I don't really have a studio set up. So trying to kind of figure out how to get creative. And Emily and I had a lot of conversations about that. So we had scheduled a write with my producer, Jason Lenning, before quarantine started. It was on the calendar. And then suddenly we were faced with like, okay, well, we can't get together in person. So let's just figure out how to do this remotely. And so we got on Zoom, and I brought in an idea that I'd been working on about just all the stillness that I'm finding myself in and all the space that I now have in my life that I did not have before. And how many questions that's brought up for me. When suddenly your social life and your career life are all gone to a certain extent, you're kind of left going, okay, what does my life look like now? What does this mean for me? And trying to kind of build from there. And so Emily and Jason, I think that idea resonated with them. And so we wrote the song on Zoom and then recorded the song remotely. Each of us kind of recorded our own parts, and then did a little video, which, I propped my phone up on like a table and had like 3 lamps set up and was, trying to rig things with duct tape, and we put it together, and we hope that it brings some people, comfort in this weird time, because we're all in it together,
Well, I know we're really excited to hear it, and we're really excited to share it with our viewers and our followers and patrons next week. So thank you for premiering it with us too.
Yeah,
that's all the questions for the first bit. So I understand you're going to sing a song for us. So what are you going to perform?
Well, I was going to start with a new one, if that's all right. And some of you, I don't know if anyone was on, I did a Stage It concert, I guess it's been 2 months ago now. I feel like some of you might've been on it. And I played this one, and so maybe you've heard it, but this is, I'm working on this new record, which I feel like I've been saying for years, I'm working on this new record, and I am, and it's hopefully going to be ready to share soon. But this one is a song that I wrote with my producer, Jason Lenning, and then also Haley Witters. I don't know if you guys have listened to her music. She's been a friend of mine for a long, long time. We signed to my very first publishing deal when I moved to Nashville. She signed at the same place kind of around that same time. And so we've been friends for a long time, and I brought this idea into her and Jason, and it resonated with them, so they helped me write it. So this is really an autobiographical song, and it's called Lost Bird. Mama's hummingbird, nervous little girl, sing yourself a song, try to calm down. tears, window pane. Love can be sad. Twice a month, pack a bag. Somehow I still feel like that. But I'm more at ease when I'm in the clouds, flying so high I can't see the ground. Gone with the breeze on my wings till the sky runs out. A lost bird blowing round. Shining all night, bird, a little too drunk, girl, tuning out the world. Tomorrow morning, that sun will come with blind. You're gonna have to see the light sometime. But I'm more at ease when I'm in the clouds. I get so high I can't find my way down. Gone with the breeze on my wings till the sky runs out. A lost bird blowing round. Ooh, ooh, I'm more at ease when I'm in the clouds, flying so high I can't find my way down. Gone with the breeze on my wings till the sky. Lost bird blowing round. Thank you.
Love that song.
Oh, so
great.
much.
Thank you for that. We're now going to go to, I think, Roy first, who has a question. Let me just click on mute
Awesome.
so we can ask a question. Roy, I think you're up.
Up.
There we
Hi,
go.
Logan.
Hi, Roy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Greetings from Scotland. Sunny Scotland as well. So that
Oh, is it?
it's not always the case that it's sunny in England and Scotland, but it is today. So
There you go.
I saw you play at the Long Road and also King Tut's in Glasgow, and absolutely thoroughly enjoyed your sets. But my question was actually kind of asked by Dad, because I was asking about how potentially how this crisis and was going to change the music industry and maybe make it that much harder for artists. But I don't know if there's more to say on that, or how do you think it might affect the industry going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say about that. Yeah, I think it's going to change things for sure. I know for independent artists like myself, touring is really kind of how we share the music, and how we really kind of make a lot of our income is based on touring. And so having that kind of taken off the table is kind of, it's a pretty big blow. I know a lot of other artists, friends of mine, are struggling to kind of figure out how to continue to connect with people when they can't be out on the road. And what a sad thing it is to not be able to come and be in a room all together. And we hope that that'll happen again soon. But I think for me, the way that I've been trying to adjust my thinking is just being able to use this time to be creative, and also to try to respond to what's happening. And obviously that includes the pandemic. Also, I'm sure you all are watching the news in the US, all the things that are going on right now. I mean, things are crazy. And there's a lot of tension and a lot of change that's happening. And I think a lot of it's overdue, so it's good. But just trying to really be receptive to that and try to respond to that in some way. Because otherwise, I think we're gonna have to figure out how to either wait this out or get creative about how to share new music. And I hope that I can tour again soon. I mean, I really do. I actually was I was supposed to be on a plane headed to London 2 days before they posted the travel ban, and I was so disappointed. And I've got my flight vouchers. I'm ready whenever I can finally come back. But it has been really sad to not be able to travel. So I think it's going to look a lot different, but trying to get creative with it.
Do you think it's hard to comment on what's going on in America at the moment in terms of, no matter what you say, everything seems to be wrong for certain people? Everything seems to be getting picked at a little bit.
There's a lot of tension, and a lot of things I think are being politicized that don't necessarily need to be politicized, but things are really charged right now here, and I've wrestled with feeling like I have a platform to be able to share information and try to spread some ideas, but also feeling like it's difficult to comment and kind of figure out where my place is and all of that, and I think I've come to my only way to really share what I believe and what I think is really through my music, and trying to write something that feels like that. But yes, it's hard to talk about things right now, but we need to start having those conversations, I think, here, and figure out how to move forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roy. And then we're going to go to Stephen. I think you've got a question.
Hello.
Is it Steve-O?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stephen.
Steve-O, how are you?
Not too bad, yourself?
Doing all right, yeah.
My question is, when are we going to get our hands on the new album?
That's a hard question. I hope soon. I really do. It's been, I think this has definitely thrown a wrench in my plans a little bit. But just, generally sort of trying to figure out how this record is gonna, get finished for me. I've had some shuffling around on my team here in Nashville, really trying to find the right people to kind of help get behind this record. And so soon, I hope. I'm working really hard to get it out there, because it means so much to me, and I know I've been playing some of these songs for years, it feels like, and I'm ready to get them into people's hands. So yeah, soon. I wish I had a more concrete date for you, but I don't.
We're excited to hear.
Well, I hope the bolo still fits.
What's that?
I hope the bolo still fits.
Oh, the bolo! Yes, thank you again for the bolo. That was awesome. I still have it. I do. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a good style piece to throw in. So thank you for that.
No
and then
problems.
Finally, Emma.
Hello. Yeah, I had one question earlier, but during the Zoom, another question may have materialised. So can I be cheeky and go for two?
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, I just wondered if you'd learned any party tricks a couple of months that you never thought possible. Maybe could make good story part 2.
Oh, party tricks.
I don't know that.
I learned to make some really good cocktails. I will say that. I've been really stepping up my cocktail game. We in our house, we've decided that really like what we have to look forward to now is eating and drinking. So we've been cooking a lot. My sister is a fantastic cook. She really goes all out. And she's been baking bread all day, every day. But yeah, for me, I've really nailed some cocktails. I've been making I made one the other day that was, it's like a frozen watermelon mint and has mezcal in it, which I am now is my new favorite thing. I was all whiskey all day. But now I'm a little more on mezcal, which has been kind of fun.
And the fruit is healthy, right?
Yes, fruit is it's totally healthy. It's hydrating. It's watermelon, it's got water in it. It's fine.
And also thinking about the industry and how it's changed, I'm a big fan of Erin Enderlin. I'm not sure if you met each other or worked with each other before, but twice a week it's great. We can listen to Erin's shows online, and I think this weekend she has a live show coming up, and I don't know how it's going to be without any comments interrupting the show. But I wondered if you'd ever worked together or planned on working together.
We did a festival together years ago, and so I met her there, and it was out in California. I remember it must have been 4 years ago, because she and I run in similar circles. We have similar friends, and I'm definitely a big fan of what she does. But no, we've never written together or played shows together other than that one festival. But of course, I would love to collaborate with her at some point. She's fantastic. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Emma. And then we've just got a quick game for you before the other acoustic segment. So you've been to the UK lots of times now, so we're expecting that you've tried quite a lot of English delicacies, but we've got some really weird names for our food over here. So can you guess what each of these, I guess, food ones are? So first one is bubble and squeak.
Oh, the squeak makes me think cheese for some reason. Is there cheese involved? Can I ask for a hint? Is there cheese?
You can. It's a really hard one to like to give a hint for. Oh, it's probably not the best thing for you. I don't know whether that doesn't really help at all.
Fried. It's probably fried. Is it fried?
It's like a leftovers, like mash cabbage thing together.
Gotcha. Okay, so like, is it like I'm imagining a shepherd's pie, but I might not be right about that. Like some sort of like deep fried.
It's kind of like a baked breakfast dish.
Oh, okay, baked breakfast dish. That sounds good. I'm a fan of breakfast, so I could maybe get on board with that. But I haven't tried before, no.
So Logan, what is a chip butty?
Wait, say that again?
A chip butty. So B-U-T-T-Y.
Chip makes me think French fry.
Like, yeah, so
probably
fat
the fried
French
potato situation. I don't know why I'm like everything's fried. It's all fried in my mind.
To be honest, that sums up.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's some sort of like fried potato situation. And I'm thinking that like, is the pork butt involved somehow? Like I'm just going off of what words I'm hearing here. No.
It's like a chip sandwich. So if you go to a fish and chip shop and you buy a bag of chips, you put it on bread with some butter, and it's called a chip butter. So a chip sandwich, basically.
Sounds really delicious. I would go for that.
You'll have to try it next time you come over.
Yeah.
James? No, James is on mute, I think.
Oh, there. Okay.
There. Don't.
Uh-oh. I think you're back on mute.
There. Don't take this one the wrong way. Okay,
ready.
Spotted dick.
I mean, I hate to say like it might be what it sounds like, right? Like it might be some sort of like animal testicle. That sounds no,
Gosh, not
really. Wild names.
It's bizarre. It's what we would call a pudding, which you guys would call a dessert. So it's a dessert, but it's made from suet, which is lamb or beef fat.
Okay.
With dried fruit.
Wow, that is wild.
It's something my grandparents would have eaten in the 40s or 50s. It's a really heavy, fat-filled, fill you up sort of dessert.
That is okay. The fact that dessert involves meat is wild to me, because our dessert is very like, it's just sugar on chocolate on sugar always. That's wild. I think I'm surprised I don't know that one, because I watch a lot of Great British Baking Show. Like I've seen the whole series. Big fan, and we're big fans in this house. So I don't know, maybe they've made that and I just missed it, but that's wild.
Yep, spotted dick.
Okay, I'll add that one to the knowledge bank up here.
What about pigs in blankets?
Oh, we have those. That's just like a pastry wrapped around not a hot dog, sausage.
Not quite. Not here in the UK. It's sausage, but we wrap bacon around it.
Oh, see, yeah, your blanket is different than our blanket. Our blanket is like a pastry, and we use of course, like really cheap hot dogs, like mini hot dogs, which are probably not as good.
And the next one, Cornish pasty.
Oh, I love Cornish pasty. I actually.
Oh, God, there we go.
Hey, I've had this one. That is like one thing. For some reason, I started every time I'd get into London, I would have to take the train in. Mm-hmm. I would get a Cornish pasty at one of those stands before I got on the train.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's like
you know that. Yeah.
Yes, and I get the curry one. I'm really into like the curry one. Yeah.
There you go.
But yes, that one I know. That. Glad I at least knew one of these.
Right, this one's from Roy's neck of the woods. Do you know what haggis is?
I should know what haggis is. I should. I know I've had a conversation with someone in Scotland about haggis. It's meat of some sort.
I'll take you for haggis. I'll take you for haggis the next time you're up in Scotland, Logan.
Perfect. Sounds good. It's some sort of. Is it like a? It's like a sausage. I should know this. Kind of.
It's a very strange dish. It's a Scottish dish consisting of the insides of a sheep mixed with oatmeal and seasoning and suet and stuff. It's very weird.
Okay. Yeah.
They live it in Scotland, so. Get Roy, he's loving it.
That sounds like there's a food that is also sort of mixed with it's a meat that's mixed with a grain that my family eats. I have a really my heritage is very German. My family's from Cincinnati, Ohio, which is a really German community, and there's a meat there called geta that sounds sort of similar. It's mixed with like oats and all kinds of different things, and it's anyway, so probably not quite the same, but it's similar, maybe. I don't know.
Well, Roy's going to treat you to some haggis next time you're in Scotland. So
perfect.
And the last one is Welsh rarebit.
Rarebit.
So it sounds like rabbit, but it's rarebit.
Yeah, that honestly, I was going to say my first thought was it's some sort of rabbit. Is it a rabbit? It's not a rabbit, is it? No.
No, it's actually really simple.
It's really simple. Is it? I'm thinking like a rare cut of meat, maybe. I'm just basing this on I shouldn't base this on the words that are in the foods. I'm realizing now that's going to get me off base here.
Actually, this is one of the few non-meat ones on the list, I think.
Oh, it's non-meat. Okay. Rarebit.
It involves melting something.
Oh, is it like a fondue situation?
It's melted cheese on toast with like cayenne pepper and paprika in it.
That sounds delicious.
But
That sounds awesome.
It's called Welsh rarebit over here.
Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that, but there you go. Yeah. I would eat cheese on toast.
There you go.
Yeah. That's great. Now I know all these for when I come back next time.
So now that you know all these delicacies you need to try next time you're here, we thought it might be time for another song from you. So what are you going to perform next for us, Logan?
Well, I thought that since I missed playing this song live so much. And I feel like every time I'm, in a UK thing, this is the right one to play. Emma, this one might be for you. She thumbs up. I love it. Just changed my strings, so my tuning is not. I haven't had a reason to put on fresh strings in a while. All right, you guys know this one. Figured I'd end on this. Waking up still drunk like some kind of stranger. Holy Bible making friends with a bottle makers. Blackout shades hide the mistakes. Take a breath and slide the hotel chain. I sneak out cause I know you want me to. Walk a shame on you. High heels clicking on the sidewalk pavement. Sunday morning, sure enough, it's raining. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. All alone on this walk of shame on you. Ooh, walk of shame on you. You said last night, this time I mean it. And I was just about one drink shy of a moment of weakness. When it's 2 for 1s in this nowhere town, these old flames, they don't burn out. But all your lies, well, they still ain't true. walk of shame on you. High heels clicking on the sidewalk pavement. Sunday morning, sure enough, it's raining. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. All alone on this walk of shame on you. Ooh, shame on you. It's me about a half a mile from my place. I can't love someone and leave them this way. High heels clicking on the sidewalk pavement, church bells ringing, sure enough, it's raining. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. If it wasn't for you. High heels clicking on the sidewalk pavement. Sunday morning, sure enough, it's raining. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. All alone on this walk of shame on you. Ooh, walk of shame on you.
Oh, that was great. Thank you. Just can't wait to be able to be released so we can get back and see you live in proper setting soon. But we're obviously so excited to have you be a part of Destination Country sessions next week, or July 2nd. Is that next week? Yes.
Yes, I'm completely of time.
I know.
So,
time is going. But thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you guys for having me, and everybody, I hope everyone's well and safe and well, and I can't wait to see you guys on stage it next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Logan. Thank you.
See you guys later. Thank you.